Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're doing the case of Kenny Veach, 847, and he disappeared in November 2014, probably trying to find an M-shaped cave that he had posted about previously. This cave was apparently in the Mohave Desert near Nellis Air Force Base, and the reason why he was out there trying to find it because he had left a comment about it on a YouTube video, which was probably also about caving or hiking or something along those lines, and it read, "This ain't nothing. I am a long-distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that ever happened to me." So some people saw that comment and were like, okay, well, if you're not going to show us the cave, then no proof means it didn't happen. So he went out to find it and film it, and he made about a 20-minute video of him hiking around the area trying to find a cave, ultimately not finding it during that run. He posted that video, and there were some people on that video that were saying like, no, I should go back and try again because this isn't proof. You're probably just telling us a tall tale, etc. So he went back, and it was during that expedition that he disappeared. Don't know exactly when that happened, sometime during November in any case. What happened to him? There's all sorts of wild stories about there maybe being some type of entrance portal or something inside that cave into either the Air Force Base itself or some other secret hidden project or something along those lines. Other people think that he just found a cave and then maybe fell down a mine shaft or something, because there are plenty of small mine shafts. Some of them go straight down, others have like a slope, or I don't know exactly how they look, most of them, but there's been a lot of people that have gone missing going into these old mine shafts and caves because they tend to be more treacherous than they look. So maybe he just came to an unfortunate end in one of them. And maybe he did get found by somebody from the Air Force Base, because they do have a shot on sight policy. And there are signs all over the place saying that that is the case, because you're not supposed to come near there if you're not like authorized personnel. But we don't know either way because we haven't found his body. His phone was found by somebody who went looking for him, but that was the only thing, and I don't think the phone really led to any more clues as to where he may have gone. So we're here today with the tarot. We're going to try to figure out if we can get any more information from this case or about this case. And we're starting off with the Botticelli tarot deck, which is currently on the table. It's this one. And for further questions, we're moving on to the Wise Dog Tarot, which is always very nice and detailed. So as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the deck, and as soon as I have a table full of cards that we can look at, I'm going to stop, and then we're going to take a look at what we can find. So without much further ado, let's go. Alright, let's see what we have here. It starts off with the Ace of Swords and the Fool, both of them upright. So the aces are often new initiatives, new ideas, and in particular the Ace of Swords is thoughts that lead to actions, that type of thing. And we see the Fool here. Now normally the Fool is a card that shows somebody having faith in the universe, but in this case it's more like they're being weighed down by the universe because they're very much shielding themselves from the sky, I would say, or maybe the trees or something. Something is bothering them. Also the dog is either sniffing or biting their foot, maybe trying to convince them to go one way or the other. So this seems to be like a bad idea. literally. Like, the universe may have been trying to tell him that it was a bad idea. He may not have seen that initially, because the Fool card does show somebody who tends to just go off of intuition, which can be good, and of course in some cases can lead you into trouble. In this case, it looks like it did lead into trouble, because we see here 2 Pentacles cards in reverse, and then there's the 2 of Wands also in reverse. Gonna grab all 3. Now, the 9 of Pentacles is often financial independence, that type of thing. Could also just be that you have all the things that you need. Combined with the 8 of Pentacles right next to it, which is normally like a focused work ethic, really focusing hard on what it is that you're doing. And the 2 of Wands in reverse also. This seems to me as being ill-prepared, not having all the things that you need, and then finding that you can't really leave either, because there's the 2 of Wands, which is normally like planning a journey, planning a new adventure, some other direction that you want to go in. But of course in reverse, I would say that that is not going to happen. So this seems to me like I don't have the things that I need. I didn't prepare for this as well as I should have, and now we're stuck, that type of thing. Because these 3 together seem to suggest that he went there thinking that he had enough. Of course, we have the Fool here, who thinks that he's well prepared, but turns out that he wasn't, and also hadn't studied the area well enough, at least not enough to handle whatever came at him in that moment, and that left him trapped. So that's starting to sound, well, it sounds pretty much like what we expect, but we don't know exactly what trapped him, of course. Although the ill-preparedness does seem to suggest that there's like a thing to do with the terrain, I would say. We have the 6 of Swords, which is a traveling card, and then we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So that is also kind of pointing towards a journey. And then particularly because the Queen of Swords in reverse, it's like they really trust their own ideas about how dangerous things are and what type of action you should be undertaking when it gets there. But this is the Queen being incorrect in this case. They have miscalculated their journey. That's what this seems to suggest, particularly in the lineup that we have here already. So this Queen of Swords, which is probably his energy, he was very excited. I do believe he was probably a very intelligent guy, but just made a miscalculation that led to trouble. And we see that as well with the Knight of Wands, which is in the 2nd row. There we go, Knight of Wands, charging ahead, thinking that he's got everything he needs, apparently, according to this previous line. And then we see here the 5 of Swords, which is like verbal fighting, verbal jousting, could also be arguments. And since it's in reverse, I'm going to count this as internal arguments. So after he's done charging off into the wilderness with this great plan of his, he's like, oh shit, he's starting to realize that things aren't quite the way he thought they would be. And then we have here the Ace of Pentacles, next one, which is a new hope, maybe even a new hope. We have a King of Pentacles. Alright, so this is starting to look like he encountered something that gave him hope. So I'm going to grab these 2. So after this initial disappointment, we do see here an Ace of Pentacles, which is like a new resource, a new thing that's coming up, perhaps some type of windfall, that's the word I'm looking for, that he may have encountered something in the desert that made him go, oh wait, I can fix this with this thing. Or maybe it's like being stuck, if you weren't inside a well shaft like that, imagine being stuck there and then you're finding a ladder or something. This is the type of thing that we're looking at right now. So he finds something that may be able to save him, and that is making him feel like he's on top of the world again, because we have the King of Pentacles. So with this new resource, he's like, okay, I can handle things again. All the bad planning that I did before unfortunately led me to this, but this is my ticket out of here. This is what we're gonna use. But next we see here the Tower with strength and justice. Alright, so that's an interesting combination, these 2 in particular. So we know the Tower fairly well. It's the card that tells us that things are about to go down. Things that you thought were solid and given facts of life are being thrown upside down. Literally, these people are falling out of the tower, as you can see. And it's quite interesting that they're falling in the way that they are. Normally when people fall on the tower, they're like head down. But these appear to be falling off of something, like they had previously grabbed onto the stuff that's falling down with them, and then that grip loosened, and now they're just going straight down like this. We do have strength and justice here, which is an interesting combination to follow that up with. So maybe after the tower event happened, they did face it gracefully, and perhaps also found some type of, yeah, this is how it should have been way of thinking. Like maybe after all, because I was drawn to look at this halberd that they have, which kind of represents his sword as well. It's once again a thought process that she's going through. They're looking at everything that's happened, and then they decide, okay, no, this is how it was supposed to end up. This was apparently how things were always going to end up, because it's just logical that that happened. But they weren't panicking about it, which is what the strength card appears to be saying. May have been trying to fight stuff off, fight off the fear maybe, or just dealing with the consequences of this tower, and doing so gracefully. And I think I heard somewhere that he was also kind of spiritually inclined, so maybe this judgment card is also kind of pointing towards, or justice, sorry, is pointing towards the fact that they just use that spiritual side of themselves to calm themselves down, and also perhaps have some peace with the situation. That's what it seems to be. So let's see if we can find out anything about what happened after that, and if we're going to ever find him, because it's a big place, obviously. Plenty of caves there, and plenty of places where he could have disappeared off to. So far, I'm seeing nothing that suggests that he encountered a person who may have attacked him. Like, I don't see anybody here, like perhaps a guard station picking him up and going, hey, you're not supposed to be here. In this lineup anyway. Who knows what we're going to get next, but let's see what we have here. This is the Four of Cups in reverse, so that definitely points towards being disinterested in any other options, or having no other options. So basically this is being stuck, and that follows up these cards quite nicely, because that's what it appears to be pointing towards, just the literal fall after foolish actions that he was not prepared for, and then sitting down and thinking to themselves, like, what did I just do? And there's nothing else I can do right here. I'm stuck here, that type of thing. So let's see what else we can get. Oh, two of them. This one came first. Knight of Cups in reverse. Alright, so Knight of Cups is somebody who is usually fairly well emotionally balanced. In this case, they're actually balancing the cup on their nose, but it does seem to suggest that even though they were aware of their situation and they weren't able to go anywhere, or they saw no options, that they definitely had a breakdown as a result of that. We also have here the Three of Pentacles, so maybe somebody did find them, or wanted to find them, to try and work together to find him and bring him back. Which might also point towards the fact that many people have actually gone out to try and find him in the desert, to see if they could first of all find this M-shaped cave, and then of course Kenny as well. So this might be, he may have heard people as well, because you can survive quite a long time. As long as you have water, you can survive like 2 weeks without food or something, so this might even point towards him hearing people coming close. That might also be the reason why he has the Knight of Cups in reverse energy. Like, he's hearing people, he's thinking, oh, maybe I'll get rescued, and then ultimately they move away because they can't find him, or they're going the wrong direction, or they can't hear him calling, that type of thing. This one did a little slalom. Oh, let's see now. This is Knight of Cups. Oh, King of Cups, sorry. Was Knight of Cups, and now we're in the King energy. Same thing, but more matured, maybe. Maybe he's gotten a little bit more rested in their situation at this point. Like, after a while, you also see like a snake there in the card itself. It's going through the water. So maybe they were bitten by a snake or something. Because there's a lot of stuff like that, reptiles in the desert, of course, so he may have eventually gotten a visit from a very unpleasant creature that may have made things worse. In any case, his feelings were not getting much better. And then we have the sun here, which is kind of reversed, a bit like this. And you see the dog looking at the bird in the sky, sort of, kinda. We see some butterflies and things like that. It's almost like wishful thinking, hoping that that would one day be in their future, but also the way that they're looking kind of resigned, I think is kind of like realizing that that will never happen again for them. So this might be, again, at the end of the road, their spirituality kicking in to calm them down, maybe thinking about happier times or something along those lines, and just being calm about it. Are we gonna find him though? Because we haven't really had too much cards about that. Oh. Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, so that suggests to me, like I was saying earlier, there are a lot of people trying to find him, but these are all fairly gung-ho type rescue operations. These are, I think a lot of them are people that happen to live in the area or close to it, or just going out there with their cameras and hoping to find something that they can post. And well-intentioned for sure, but more like the same level of unpreparedness might even play here. Like, people are trying to find him, but the way they're going about it is not well thought out, because the Page of Wands is very kind of rash, like not really thought through. That one just fell out the bottom of the deck. That's interesting. That might be why they can't find them. We have here the Nine of Pentacles though. Interesting, because that is, again, some type of independence. It could be that somebody who will find him will be somebody who has quite a bit of resources on their side. Oh, I'm holding it too far up. There we go. This is the Nine of Pentacles. So they may have been or will be somebody who is fairly well established and able to use resources to go and find them. I'm also very interested in the bird that he has. He has like a falcon over here, which is one of those hunting falcons. I think it's a falcon anyway. And that you tend to use only when you're looking for something specific, like you want to hunt a rabbit. You take the little hat off and the bird immediately takes off to track down this rabbit for you. So I think that this is representing that fact that he has a lot of resources, or they have a lot of resources. So this person may just be personally interested in solving this case and has a lot to offer. And I think that person might be instrumental in actually tracking Kenny down. Okay, last two cards. We got here the Wheel of Fortune and Ace of Pentacles. Alright, so even though they have a lot of resources, it doesn't necessarily mean that their first attempt at the very least is going to be successful, because the Ace of Pentacles is reversed. It might just mean that it's going to take a lot more than they expected resource wise. Maybe they were so enthusiastic initially, like, oh, I'm just going to go there, I'm going to do that, and then we're going to find him and everything's going to be great, or at least that mystery will be solved and people can go the rest. But it's going to cost a lot more than they were expecting. However, their presence is going to change things for this whole search party, because the Wheel of Fortune is here. So I think that's definitely going to change things for the better in regards to actually trying to track him down. And that change is probably what we're going to need in order to close this case. So that is what I'm seeing for the Kenny Veach story. So there's a lot of unpreparedness here, followed by wishful thinking, seeing no options, no ways out, a lot of emotions, and ultimately acceptance. Then we see that there are a lot of people looking for him, and whoever has a whole lot of resources and an interest in tracking him down will be instrumental in finding him ultimately, even though it's going to cost more than they expected. That is what I'm seeing. Hope you found that interesting. In any case, be sure to leave a comment or a like. That really helps the channel along. I hope to see you in another reading. And bye-bye for now.